Here are a few questions this video will answer by the time we are done. This is a scenario. My husband and I have 2 kids, but I have my first son from my previous marriage and I am filing for him, my son, so as he could complete his college education here in the US. Could my current husband be my joint sponsor? Guess the answer. We'll discuss the answer later. Here's another question. My brother lives in another state, but he has a good job. We both are citizens. Could he add his income to mine as a household member so as I could bring my daughter to the US? That question too will be answered later. Here's another question. My uncle and his son, my cousin, both live in the US, in another state. My cousin is over 21 and wants to petition for my uncle, but he doesn't make enough money to meet the government required income level. Can I sponsor my uncle? So this video will answer that question too. Well, here is one of the questions we had earlier. Let's answer it now. My brother lives in another state, but he has a good job. We both are citizens. Could he add his income to mine as a household member so as I could bring my daughter to the US? Well, he is your brother, he is related to you. So that may make you think that he will be a household member. But he is not a household member. Why not? He's not a household member because he lives in another state. Not only another state, you don't live together. You have to be in the same household, under the same roof, to be considered household member. Now, if you don't live under the same roof, but you file tax together for some reason, that also is considered household member, even if the person lives separately, but that's another case. So the case of a brother living in another state, probably the brother is not filing with you, so you cannot have him as your household member. What he can do is to be a joint sponsor, okay? Because you live separately, and if his income is enough, he takes on that responsibility financially for you. So the direct answer to this is no, he cannot be a household member, but he can be a joint sponsor. Here's the second question. My husband and I have 2 kids, but I have my first son from my previous marriage and I am filing for him, my son, so as he could complete his college education here in the US. Could my current husband be my joint sponsor? Well, your current husband cannot be your joint sponsor. You live together, you most likely file tax together. He can be your household member and file the form and fill out the form I-864A. Okay. He's going to help you bring your son here, he has to fill out the form I-864A as a household member because he's a household member. Okay, he's not a joint sponsor. He cannot fill out I-864 as a joint sponsor. He has to fill out I-864A as a household member. So that's kind of a little confusion between a household member and joint sponsor. Joint sponsor is also called co-sponsor. So he cannot be your co-sponsor. He can be a household member, and you combine income. If your income is not sufficient, your husband and you combine income and bring your son here. Now, here's a question. My uncle and his son, my cousin, both live in the US, in another state. My cousin is over 21 and want to petition for my uncle, but he doesn't make enough money to meet the government required income level. Can I sponsor my uncle? Well, you may sponsor your uncle, but there are two possibilities. If your uncle is recent here and you have the income level to sponsor him, you can sponsor him. Meaning, the son file for him, the son petition for him, and you become a joint sponsor or a co-sponsor. Since your cousin and you are not living together, you cannot be a household member. Though you are related to them, you cannot be a household member. You can only be a joint sponsor. So you won't be allowed to combine your income with your cousin's income. Your income must be high enough to sponsor your uncle financially on your own. If you meet that requirement, then you may sponsor your uncle. That's the first possibility. Second possibility, how long has your uncle been living in the US? If your uncle has been living in the US for a long time, and he has been working and filing taxes, let's say he came here as a student and stay over, has social security, was doing some job, and he has some work permit sometimes, and sometimes he doesn't, but he manages to do some job or some businesses, and he had 1099 or W2, and then he has been filing taxes for over 10 years, and each or at least 10 of those years, during 10 of those years, he has earned 4 social security credit per year, and that make it 40 social security credit for him. With that, he will not need somebody to file for him. He will not need somebody to demonstrate financial responsibility for him. He has a waiver, so he can fill out the form I-864W to document his circumstances and claim the exemption. So that's when the I-864W become handy. So there are a lot of people, they never heard about that. They're always worried about getting sponsor. I need a sponsor. My son is filing for me, but he wants to file for me, but he's not earning enough money. He's still a student, or this and that. So all those depend on the person's circumstances. If they have been living here for a long time and have earned those 40 quarter social security credit, quarter, so 4 credit per year, so every quarter corresponds to 1 credit. There are 4 quarters in a year, so every year, if your income at the end of a year reaches a certain level, it's not too high, so but it depends. It reaches a certain level, you qualify for those 4. You've done that, you've been here for 12 years, 13 years, 15 years, doesn't matter. If for 10 of those you have earned 4 credits per year, 10 times, that's 40 credits social security credit, and that qualifies you to file for the immigrant to fill out the form I-864W. So somebody filed for him. That's the pathway to adjusting their status to become a green card holder or a citizen. But the financial responsibility of that petitioner will not be required, because the person they are petitioning for has already earned 40 Social Security credit, quarter credit. Okay, so that's the situation about I-864W. So you can file for your uncle, depending, but if he's been here for long, you may not need to sponsor him. His son can just petition for him, and then he fill out the form I-864W to document and claim the exemption. Well, so far, if you learned something from this video, like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel, so as when we have a new video, you'll be notified. Okay. Now let's look at some linguistic resources. If you are an immigrant or you're filing for an immigrant, there are some services that go along with that. Some of the services relate to translation, others relate to language learning, and still other, sometimes you are here but you need to write a letter in English, or you need to fill out a form somewhere, and all those, and sometimes you are in a city, you don't find people who can do that job for you. Sometimes it's hard for you to find, and all those. So that's why I'm providing in the description, there will be linked to some resources, to some linguistic resources, and you can get in touch with us. Our company is ImmigSpot, and we offer language support, translation, language teaching, and other things. So you check the description and you'll get the link to get in touch with us. So we have traduction anglais certifié, so certified English translation. People filing for asylum, immigration, business, university, and they need translation, we are here for them. We write letter in English for people who have difficulties, newcomers who have difficulty writing letter in English when they need to. We teach English, that's cours d'anglais in French. Okay, so this is our website, immigspot.com, and this is my email, immigspot@gmail.com. And if you test us before calling, we'll know what you, because there are a lot of telemarketers always calling, so we prefer that you test before calling, and this is the number to contact us. Well, so far, if you learned something from this video, like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel, so as when we have a new video, you'll be notified. Okay.